Hi, welcome back to another episode of Jim's Outdoors. Fall's turning. It's what is it now? It's about the end of September. Deer season came in, bow season came in Saturday, so we've been sitting out in the stand quite a bit. I haven't seen anything. Last stop, on the other hand, he's seen a monster. He's chasing a monster, so it's only a matter of time. He's thrown 3 arrows at him already, so he'll get it eventually. But I bought a new charge controller. I think that's what this episode's going to be about. I've had this one on the last 3 boats that I've had here. This is a Cabela's Advantage Anglers Pro Series 6 amp 1 battery back. Now this is what I've been charging my trolling batteries with, and it's just a 1 bank, and it's served me well for the last 4 years that I've had it. Oh damn, almost 5 years. So it's pretty good. But I've got 2 batteries in the front for the trolling motors, and then there's 2 batteries on a separate bank that run the engine and all the electronics and the lights on the boat. So what I was doing was I'd come home and I'd just plug this into the wall, or extension cord going to the wall, and then I'd have a little trickle charger that I put on the batteries in the back. But this new charger that I've got is dual bank, and we'll have to look underneath because I had the paperwork here and I misplaced it. But when we get underneath, it's mounted under the console, so when we get under there, I'll read everything, explain everything. But I'll show you how this is all hooked up. So like I said, this is the back bank, and this is the cord, and it's got these waterproof connectors on each end. But this is the cord coming back. Now, this is the secondary battery, and you can see here, I took jumper cables and cut the ends off, put eyelets on, mounted to this battery. And then this is the main end battery. So the cables come here, and then these are the ties for the new engine, and all the electronics comes to this battery. So, and then we got a main power fuse for all the electronics and lights go through this main fuse before it goes to the fuse box. We'll get up in the boat, it'll be much easier. But I've got it buried. I should open that up. This is all the stuff that goes underneath the console. But anyhow, in here is my dual trolling batteries, and here's the other end of the bank 2 for the charge controller. Comes up here. And then something else that I put in is this. I put this is a weatherproof plug. I put it in the deck, so when you're out running, you close that up. But it saves having cords drag around on the deck. So when I come in, that brings the charge controller up, charging both banks. Now, let's see if I can, without blinding everybody. So there's Noco. You can read it, 2x2, 2 banks. Now each one of them are for the bank, each individual bank. I believe this is a 2 amp an hour charger, which you want to go slow when you're recharging deep cycle batteries. But you can see here, you can set the modes. And mode 2 is a 12 volt, and a couple 12 volt standings or lithium, or which I don't have lithium. And then you got 6 volt. If you got 6 volt batteries hooked in series to get 12 volts. So it's got several different ways you can charge it. If it's too hot, it's got a lot of lights and stuff. But as you can see, them are working their way up. They were full charged. We just plugged it in, so it ran a diagnostic on each battery bank to decide what the status is. And you can see the engine batteries is already at full green, and they're still running diagnostics on the deep cycle. So there, see, now she reached full green. So both banks are charged. So that's how that works. But it was only $100 on Amazon. So it wasn't a bad buy. Didn't take much to put it in. Like I said, both of them came from, well, that came from Amazon. It was just a little over $100. I ordered it in through Last Stop. He got it in for me. He bought one also, but I think he bought a 24 volt charger. I think because his trolling motor's for 24 volt. Mine's still 12. I kept everything 12 volt. I seem to do better with the 12 volt system. So I shouldn't say do better. I mean, I myself prefer 12 volt over 24, but a lot of the guys are running 24. I don't seem to have any problems with the 12 volt system. So we've been trying this out now for a little over 2 months. I've had the boat in and out, and it's brought the batteries up and charged them and whatnot. So I haven't had any problems out. Every time I've ever tried to get, start the engine or do the trolling motor, they're always 100% and ready to go. So, and another thing, when I got my new motor, which those of you who've been following along knows that I got a new motor, I finally have all the gauges in. So these are all Tohatsu gauges and speedometer. This is GPS speedometer. So it runs GPS instead of the water port that goes in the back of the motor, or the one that goes on the back of the boat. So we did away with that. But anyhow, I can get you set down here again. Won't make too many people sick. But so tournaments. Some of you that is curious to see about tournaments. Well, I'll tell you, last tournament was a pretty interesting one. At midnight, the fish just quit biting. They just quit biting. But somehow, we managed to get 37 pounds on the boat in 5 fish. It's 37 and some change. So, the way it played out, we only have one over 28 inches. We searched and searched and searched for another one. But first place was Kevin. We had 43 pounds. We took second place with 37 pounds. And Greg took third place with, 36 pounds. We beat Greg by about a full pound. But, so now, how the point series finished. With that finish at second place, Kevin is not didn't fish enough tournaments to validate being in the points race. Neither did Greg Mazzolini. So without them being in the points race to make any difference, seeing as how he took first and third, that left us in third place in the points series. So here's the top 4 in the points race. Last Stop took first with 100 and some points. Chucky, Team Nightmare, took second with 90 some points. He's only a point ahead of us. That's what's crazy. We took third. Thank God we're getting a plaque this year. I'm kind of excited about that. After 3 years, we're going to get a plaque. And then Delby, Woody's Duos, took fourth place. So that's where we're at with the points. Now, this weekend, and it's going to be interesting to see what the hell this hurricane does, because that's definitely going to do something with our fishing up here, depending on where that thing tracks. But Saturday is the points for the championship, or not points, but for the championship. So you take a little bit of money out of each tournament. He holds a little bit back out of each tournament throughout the year. That gets dumped into a fund for just this tournament. So not only do you pay each team that it's validated, which you had to fish at least 3 tournaments throughout the year to qualify to be in this and be in the top 10 in the point series. So if you met them 2 qualifications, you can fish the last series tournament. So with that, that leaves 10 teams in the last series. So I forget how much money he said it was going to be in this last tournament, but so all that was held back for every tournament, there's 7 tournaments a year, so that money goes in, and then you got the entry fees going in, so it's a pretty decent chunk of change. So when that goes in, it's payouts first 3 teams, first, second, and third, and big fish, but only first place gets a plaque that says Tournament of Champions winner for 2022. So, but they, like I said, they pay back the first 3 spots. So this is the final year tournament. There's one tournament we have in November it's just a buy-in kind of thing. You just put the money in, and it's a free-for-all. It's you can have 2 fish over 28, and then bring everything else that you can bring. Fill your live wells up. Whoever brings the most fish, most pounds in, wins. So last year I took 3rd place in that last year tournament with 90 pounds. So we had a boatload, and we wasn't very far out from placing in that last year, because what I bring in 97 pounds. I think second place brought in 105, and then the winner Chucky brought 109 pounds in. Skip took second in that. So we're hoping to win that this year, depending the weather and the fish will let us. But we got to get through this tournament on Saturday. So anyhow, thanks for tuning in. I hope this video is helpful to somebody looking to charge battery banks. We're going to continue to test this, and so far it's worked out pretty good. So tune in next time, and remember to like, share, and subscribe, and get out there and catch some fish, and we'll see you on the next one.